Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your October 2021 mid-month general reading. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of October, and this reading is for the air sign of Libra. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to watch this and any of the videos on my YouTube channel. Your likes, shares, subscribing, donations, feedback, comments, reaching out for personal readings, every bit of it is greatly welcomed and appreciated. Thank you. So this is for Libra for the last 2 weeks of October 2021. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus is in Libra. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Libran. It's a general reading, so of course it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. If you know all of your signs, watch them for any additional insight they might provide. And if you find that something does resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, you can click on the description link below, that little arrow where you'll see contact details, my email address, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond within the same day with more information. And I do offer a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent about timely scheduling. So send me a message if you're interested. I'd be happy to work with you. Okay, Libra, let's see what the last 2 weeks of October 2021 look like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Libra, we begin with an offer, Knight of Cups. This is an offer driven by love, support, encouragement. Could be a love romance offer, could be a date. With the Three of Cups, highly social energy, sometimes referred to as the party card. Getting out, being with friends, being with people you feel really connected with and that you have a really good time with. This can also represent positive social connections in your community as well, kind of your circle, your tribe. So it's an offer to go out somewhere. It's an offer to have fun. It's an offer for a party. It's an offer for a date. It's an offer, something like that. Next to that, we have you, the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy, sun, moon, or rising. For some of you, it could be another air sign or somebody who manifests like an air sign. The Queen of Swords is, she's sometimes referred to as the divorced woman or the widowed woman. Doesn't really matter if she is either of those. She's the Queen of Swords, and the element of air governs the suit of swords, which governs our intellectual landscape. So this is a clear thinking person. Traditional Queen of Swords in the tarot has been through, a long road of life already. And there's been a lot of challenges on that road. And even though they've left their marks and their scars, she's also learned a great deal. She has a wealth of knowledge and experience based on that. This is not someone who suffers fools very well. Don't try BS with the Queen of Swords. She can see it coming a mile away, cuts right to the heart of the matter. Intelligent, if not well educated. A clear and direct speaker. With the Queen of Swords, we have the Devil. Obsessive energy, addictive energy. It could be, the Devil isn't always negative, the Devil card. It just represents obsessive energy, but it often is because it represents cycles of obsession or addiction that become unhealthy. But there's something alluring about it, which is what pulls us back in. The Devil tempts or traps and enslaves typically through temptation, through, this ingrained message we have, I need that thing, even though the obsessive energy around that thing typically becomes unhealthy over time, over time of repeated cycles. And, it could be classic addictions like substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex, shopping, codependent relationships, obsessive about a specific person. But, perhaps it's something that's become unhealthy. But the Queen of Swords with the Devil, this can represent that this is an obsessive situation for you, meaning that maybe this offer is, if it's love or romance, maybe it's something that you've had. This implies that the Devil implies there's some history, right? The Devil energy doesn't just pop up immediately. It's like addictions. It takes some time, right? So, it might be that this is a relationship with somebody who's making yet another offer, and while the offer might be valid, the Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups isn't a terribly deep, committed kind of energy. It's full of passion and in love with love itself and all of that. But sometimes knights have difficulty with the staying power because they're really there to accomplish something and then move on to the other thing. They're the deliverers and the bringers. So it might be that if this is a relationship reading for some of you, that you're kind of tired of that cycle. Maybe you want to move things to the next level, or you're wanting something a little more, a little deeper. And for some of you, this might be actual addiction energy. I mean, the Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups is let's go party again, or, could be that. You or somebody else. Next to that, we have the Seven of Wands, defensive energy. This is defending, protecting, guarding, standing up for something you feel you have a lot invested in. It could be yourself, could be another person. It could be an ideology as well, like a belief system. With the Seven of Wands, we have the Hanging Man, not taking action. The Hanging Man hangs upside down from what is traditionally considered the Tree of Life. So he's not taking action. He's in stasis in limbo, but he is watching something playing out and trying to gain information before he takes action. This feels like you're not sure about taking this offer, accepting this offer. For some of you, it might be extending the offer, right? But for most of you, the Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups is an offer coming in. And it feels like that a lot of you are you may be being pressured to make this decision, and you're like, no, I don't know if this is what I want to do. I'm not sure if it's the right thing for me to do. You're still like watching and waiting and trying to figure things out. It might be about waiting for specific details about this event or trip or whatever it is. But with the Queen of Swords and the Devil in the middle, it feels like you're thinking quite clearly, but you may be trying to figure out if this is part of the same old negative cycle of whatever this was, right? Because the devil implies some kind of history, because the devil is cyclical, right? For some of you, the Queen of Swords and the Devil might be another air sign or somebody who manifests like the air sign who is having an issue. I mean, the Devil card, this is a general reading, so what this actually is going to vary with who's watching this. For some of you, it might be as concrete as addiction issues, right? Specifically, traditional, classic addiction issues. And for some of you, this might be you wanting to accept this thing because you've always done it before. And maybe you think that it's not the right thing for you this time, although it's really tempting, but you're not sure. That's kind of where it looks like the reading ends up. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Seven of Cups. Looking at all the potential, looking at all the possibilities. This is also a very idealistic card because it's cups, which is governed by the element of water, which governs our emotional atmosphere, right? It's not a very practical card. It's not bad. We all need to start with dreams. I mean, each of these 7 cups is filled with something beautiful, perfect. And what the cups represent is potential, possibility. This is like looking at something that you might want, that might be possible, but looking at only the most positive, perfect outcome of something, and not perhaps the path to getting there, or what might go wrong, or what work is needed to be done to order to manifest something. This is kind of like building castles in the sky, fantasizing, daydreaming. Let me see what the next card is after the Seven of Cups. The Four of Swords, taking a temporary retreat, a temporary withdrawal to rest, recuperate, and maybe look at what the potential of something is. For some of you, if this is a relationship or really any other kind of situation, but it might, I keep feeling relationship, some kind of personal relationship here. It may be that maybe you broke up or you've been estranged or there's been issues and the person's coming back and saying, hey, let's go do this and it's going to be different this time or whatever. And you're like trying to figure out if this is if that's actually real, if there's actual potential for that here, or if it's just that same old Devil card energy. So let's clarify. Clarify, because the Four of Swords and the Hanging Man both imply taking a step back, thinking, watching, but not actually taking action. It's a temporary withdrawal from some kind of conflict. Clarify the Seven of Cups, Four of Swords, Seven of Cups, Four of Swords. For some of you, this might be more minimal energy. Like it could be something less complex and more clear, like an invitation to a party, or you have to travel for it, for a get together or an event or something, and you're not sure just because of the state of the world with COVID and travel things always changing. You're not sure if you're not sure. All right. Clarify. Seven of Cups. Four of Swords. The Emperor. The father figure of the tarot might be somebody who manifests like that. It could be an Aries individual. The Emperor would almost certainly be an older individual, whether it's a father figure or somebody that you're involved with or a close friend or something of that sort. Or again, somebody who manifests like an Aries, which is attached to the Emperor. It's almost always somebody older, somebody established, somebody who has a pretty good long road of life behind them. They've worked really hard they're the Emperor, right? The Ten of Cups, happy home, white picket fence. The Ace of Pentacles, practical new beginnings. This with the Ten of Cups is a classic combination for getting married or moving into with each other, or, buying your first home. Four of Cups is next. An offer, again, being given or offered, but somebody not sure if they want to take it or not. Clarify the Knight of Cups. The Two of Cups. The Ace of Cups. Soulmates, new love and romance, or renewal. The Emperor, for many of you, is probably the person that you're involved with or that's making the offer. This could be somebody that you just met. Although, again, this Devil card implies some kind of history. So it might be a renewal, or let's start again, or let's have a fresh start. Let's go off and do this. And it could be somebody new and you're wondering, is this person like the other people? Am I getting myself out of the frying pan but into the fire kind of energy? Again, this offer you're not sure about. Clarify the Three of Cups. The Four of Swords. Again, this is a temporary withdrawal to rest, recuperate, gain some perspective. You're not sure about this. And maybe for some of you, this with the Three of Cups could represent an offer to get away to rest and relax. But again, this Devil card energy. Let's clarify that Devil card energy. It feels like there's a connection between you and this person, that it implies history. And I feel like, especially if the Emperor is representing them, they go after what they want and they're pretty persistent. They're disciplined, but they're pretty persistent. Especially if it's an Aries, an actual Aries sign. The Five of Swords, winning at all costs, a hard-won victory. The Six of Cups, there's that card of historical connection. Is this person offering this just because he or she feels like they're losing me and they don't want to lose me, or they're coming back in to make these other promises? Because the Five of Swords can represent somebody who's so ambitious that he doesn't care what he needs to do in order to win. And that could represent the other person here. For some of you, the Five of Swords is a hard-won victory. That means that the victory is won because you've separated yourself from your enemies or those trying to exploit you or use you. You've removed their ability to hurt you. But you're still standing in the battlefield. You're tired, worn out, wounded. You just want to go home. Wanting to have victory over a toxic negative cycle. Trying to see this thing clearly. Which the Queen of Swords typically does. But, when our heart is involved, especially if this is like a long-term relationship, it can be difficult to not see things through the heavy lens of our emotions, which is not what we should base important decisions on, but it's difficult nonetheless. Clarify the Seven of Wands. This defensive energy, what's that about? Seven of Wands with the Hanging Man, it's like, it feels like you might be being pressured here, some of you. It's defending the right to not do anything. that I need more information, that I need to see how things play out before I make up my mind. I don't know enough yet. I'm not sure yet. I need some time. The Four of Wands, happy home. I mean, the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Wands. This is all like marriage, home, family. The Five of Wands, but there's conflict, internal conflict, external conflict, clarifying this defensive energy. It might be for some of you, you've already made the decision to go ahead with this thing, accept this offer, and your family or friends might be going, you know, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because we've seen you go through this over and over and over again. Are you sure? It might be that. It might be that you yourself are conflicted about whether or not this is a real offer. And even if it is this really something sustainable? Is this something is this really good for me? Clarify the Hanging Man. The Two of Wands, yeah, making that choice. The Two of Wands is the Two of Fire, which is action oriented. So this is waiting, watching, trying to figure out if this is, you know, if this is right. Should I take action this way or should I take action that way? The Five of Cups, regret, loss. You don't want to make the wrong decision. You don't want to make a decision and find yourself back in that devil card cycle energy again and go, God, I did it again. I did it again. Not wanting to regret your choice. The Hanging Man with the Two of Wands and the Five of Cups. This is taking your time because you're not sure, you're not certain what decision is what path is the right to take, and you don't want to have regrets. Interesting reading, Libra. What the offer is going to vary. Some of you, it's going to be, you know, moving in, getting the first house, getting married, all of that kind of stuff. There's conflict. Not certain. Trying to see clearly. Not certain yet. Am I getting caught back up into an old negative cycle here? I don't know. Give me a minute. I need some time. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. So advice and guidance, and not for yes or no, because of course it's not even realistic to think that for everybody that's watching this video, even if it's resonating for you, that the answer is going to be the same for everyone. So let's ask for guidance and advice from Spirit on what you should think about or focus on to make the best decision possible. Two of Pentacles, again, making a choice. The Two of Swords, the head stuck in the sand, reluctance and a resistance to look at something, because if you do look at something and acknowledge it, then you can't unacknowledge it. You have to deal with it. You have to make a choice one way or the other. But the Two of Swords implies feeling stuck, but it's stuck because you don't really want to look at something. Because that Devil card energy is tempting, and we don't often want to see it as the source of something we need to give up, because there's something about it that pulls us in, right? The Hierophant, convention, tradition, established beliefs. The Ten of Swords, betrayal, surrendering to a painful ending. The Star, renewed, restored hope, faith, and optimism. You know, the Hierophant and the Star are both cards of faith, convention and tradition, but they're often faith-based, faith in the institutions of convention, right? You know what, Libra? I feel like what Spirit is asking you to look at, to sit in, to contemplate, in order to make the best decision possible, because for some of you it's going to be yes, for some of you it's going to be no, is to make sure and ask yourself, especially if this is like an obsessive, addictive, negative cycle, or previously, ask yourself if by choosing this path or by choosing this path, are you betraying anything in yourself? Are you betraying yourself? Are you betraying any fundamental beliefs? Because we give ourselves messages when we do the things that we know are not best for us to do, but they draw us, so we do them anyway. That's like the nature of addiction and obsession, right? You know deep down this thing isn't good for you. This person, this thing, whatever it is. You know it. But when you make the decision to be drawn back into it, it's a betrayal of yourself. It's a betrayal of your belief system, your ideologies, your moral and ethical foundation that you've chosen for yourself. And when you do that, repeatedly over time, that devil card energy and cycle, it can erode and strip away your sense of self, your sense of self-worth and self-value and self-esteem and confidence. And you start feeling like a bad person, right? Or unworthy or defective. So in making the right decision, because, it's going to be different for people, right? Depending on even what this is for you. But ask yourself, in trying to make the right decision, take the blindfold off, the Two of Swords here, and ask yourself, if I choose this path to the left, am I going against myself? Am I betraying myself, right? If I go to the right, am I doing that? So I feel that's what Spirit is kind of advising here. Deep, kind of, huh? All right, Libra. Those are your messages for the last 2 weeks of October. I hope you found them helpful and useful. Again, if you did, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading or information about that for yourself or as a gift for someone else. Personal readings make great gifts. How much more personal can you get than a personal reading? Click on the description link below, that little arrow where you'll see my email address, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. I'd be delighted to hear from you and even more delighted to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the, God, can you believe it's almost November, for the November general readings. Until then, please always stay safe and well, be blessed, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.